Rockpile is on 100 acres in the wheat belt of WA, and we are 100% off-grid. When you buy property to start your own homestead, you've got a few options. You can buy something that's already all set up, gardens, orchards, infrastructure, paddocks. You can buy something that's partway there, and you can finish it yourself, or you can do what we did.
And buy a piece of land that has nothing on it apart from rocks.
So we want to look back over year 4 of starting a homestead from scratch.
Yep.
And cover what we're building, what we accomplished, what projects we completed at year 4, and perhaps cover some of the stuff that we're looking to do in 2025. Food systems.
Yes.
All right, so year 4, we processed our first feeder pigs. We had purchased them the year prior.
Grew them from little pigs to bigger pigs.
We built a what turned out to be a temporary pen. We grew them up. We processed them this year. So we got 2 pigs into the freezer. We covered the whole setup, how much it cost, the cost breakdown, all of that stuff.
And we just got 2 pigs, basically ended up with just over 100 kilos of meat and some fat out of those 2 pigs. It was well worth it.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, another big accomplishment for our food systems is getting a milk cow. We got the milk cow. She was pregnant. She gave birth in December. So we now have a milk cow giving milk with a little heifer girl, which will grow up to be another milk cow, or, you know, maybe a milk cow for another homestead. Yeah. What else did we do?
We went and got another calf.
Which I think is officially called cow math.
Cow math, yes.
So, on advice from our cow mentor, Mel from Honeybee Farmstead, her opinion was that Summer, our Jersey girl, could handle feeding another calf in addition to the milk that she will be giving us, that she's giving us. So we went and got a bull calf from a dairy, and we are making him into a steer in process of that at the moment. And he will be a future meat cow. And that's something we've put in place this year that is going to reap rewards in another couple of years down the track.
So
but because that is still a couple of years away, to stock our freezer with some meat, we also ordered a quarter beef cow from a local farmer, and that was a great process.
Awesome.
And we broke down the cuts we got, and also like how much it costs and all that. That's going to be approximately 8 to 10 months worth of meat for us. So at some point this year in 2025, we might buy another quarter cow or like a half a cow or something to kind of tide us over to the point where our first meat cow is ready.
Because we got the quarter beef, we got the 2 pigs that we've done, so we've still got pork left. We do chickens as well on here.
Food systems.
There is a lot of stuff that we don't film.
Yeah.
But there is stuff that is always happening here.
So we are processing chickens. And part of those food systems is, I think we thought that we would do kind of get eggs, maybe incubate them and raise the chicks in a brood and have a batch that we would process. At this stage, we're not going down that route.
No.
Because we've got some broody hens who are really good at raising large
and they
clutches
seem to
of
be
chicks.
Always on eggs. We've got 15 chicks at the moment. 13 to one mum and 2 to another.
Someone's not pulling their weight.
Yeah, I reckon. And then we had another 2 hens that were broody again. Now. So
probably twice a year we'll have a couple of hens go broody. So at the moment, we've just, part of our food system is setting them up. We've got a bit of a system once they've chosen their place where they want to
Yes.
lay their eggs, we kind of build a coop around them to secure them.
And you'll see that we call that one Garlic Mama.
Yeah.
So you'll see her, she laid eggs in the garlic, and then they all hatched in the garlic, and then we made that temporary thing for a few days, and they moved to like a larger, fully enclosed cage for a couple of weeks. And then once the chicks get bigger, they just free range.
Yeah, we start opening, like, so they stay contained within that for a certain amount of time. And then once they start getting itching to kind of get out, I mean, it is only a few weeks old at that stage. We let them out and Mum teaches them how to forage, and they kind of pretty independent
They
at that
stay
point.
close to the caged area, like the coop, and they nip back in there. But now, how old are they now?
8 weeks, maybe.
8 weeks old. As soon as I let them out now, they make a beeline straight for the cow yard to try and get some fresh poo to go through. Nothing like a breakfast cookie, I tell you.
So all this meat means we need chest freezers. We did invest in an additional chest freezer this year. That was in preparation for the pork.
Yep, so we bought another 200 litre chest freezer. So we have
In
a
addition to
500 and a 200, and our fridge, upright fridge freezer combo, usual thing. So yeah, so they're running. Well, we're all 100% off grid here, so that's been running flawlessly.
Yes, and that's a Chic brand, and it's actually a hybrid freezer, which we found, like when we're doing our research, is very
economical on power,
energy wise. And in that, with like the meat, you'll also see in our quarter cow video, we've developed like a bit of a tray method to freeze and make and use our meat. So we put a variety of cuts on one tray, and then we have kind of a list of meals that we can make with each of cuts of those trays, and we just go tray by tray, and it just makes sure we're actually using a variety of the meat.
Yeah, just make sure we're not smashing all the T-bones this week and all the the rumps or the fillet or whatever next week, and we're just left with all this stuff that is all slow cooked meat. We kind of got a bit of a combo on each tray, and I think that is awesome.
Yeah, it's working well.
Yeah.
And I definitely moving forward, we'll find ways to do that with other bulk meat we get.
I reckon.
For sure.
And I wish we had done it with the pork.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, because we just started like pork chops like every day. Well, or not every day, but and we left all the big slow roasts and the stuff too hard. Not too hard.
Later, that's a later thing.
That's a later thing. Yeah. So yeah, we'll do that definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chicken's different because the chicken is chicken.
We don't have like a year's worth of chicken.
No.
So we might have like a month or two worth of chicken in our freezer at any given time. Yeah. So that was progress on our food systems for year 4 on the homestead. How about our infrastructure? Because that's massive. Guys, let me just tell you, that is such an unappreciated element of being able to run an efficient homestead, is having things like fencing and shelter and sheds and all this stuff that enables you to do the other stuff, like the actual activities of homesteading. So infrastructure has been big for us this year. Because
we've done a few big jobs, haven't we?
Yeah, because we got the milk cow. We needed to expand our ability to effectively manage large livestock. So, fencing for infrastructure. We did another larger paddock.
Yep, approximately 4 to 5 acres of enclosure.
And then that gives the cows an option to go within kind of the 3/4 acre paddock versus, let's like 1/2 to 3/4 acre. And then into the 4.5 acre.
Do you want me to go measure it?
Not quite yet, no.
Yeah.
That was a big job. Oh, and that also included Corey's special like corner post
the corner
system.
assembly strainer things that I come up with a plan to because it's all about saving money. When you can do stuff yourself, you can save money.
Yes.
So, and they are, to this day, I drive past them every day. They are bulletproof, right?
They're pretty good.
That's a great design. There's a few things I do different, but as far as the design goes, it's worked out well. And price-wise, worked out awesomely. So fencing was a big one. We completed a carport extra roof area on the shed. Like a 6 metre by 6 metre roof,
Yep.
flat, like skillion type flat roof coming off the shed, just with 2 posts, and then the main part was fixed to the shed. That's great.
Yeah, that's made a big difference in just kind of our day-to-day life. It's something that we use and interact with every single day. From an infrastructure point of view, just for like humans, that's been like really good.
Because part of the problem is when you don't have a roof to put stuff under and you've only got like a small shed, come winter, everything ends up in the shed.
Yeah.
Because you don't want like you got a rider mower that's worth thousands of dollars, and you got all this other stuff. It's just sitting out in the rain. It's not good for it.
Yeah.
So you put it all in the shed, and then it's just too hard to get into the shed to do anything.
Yes, and then someone complains about having all the stuff in his shed, so he can't do different projects.
That's me.
And in the heat of summer as well. Obviously, we get really hot summers here, so it just allows for extra room to do stuff, to stage stuff up, to have an extra workspace in the rain or in summer.
Yep.
Which brings us to like things we've built for our livestock, so infrastructure for animals.
Yep.
Like we said, the pig pen was temporary, so that came down once we processed the pigs, and we fully dedicated that paddock to cow paddock.
Yep.
Right. That includes building a shelter, which was kind of just the first stage. We wanted a shelter where they could walk into to get out of the rain and sun and that sort of thing. And that had an extra little lean-to, so we had shelter for hay, for feed.
Some hay storage.
And then that progressed with like concrete inside, and we built a...
Just having flashbacks of the concrete.
That was...
We found that pretty hard.
It turned out well though.
It did,
Yeah. It turned out pretty well. Oh, very well, actually. And then we also built a stanchion within that.
Yes, we did.
So that was really great and is working really well.
Yep. And now Summer just comes in. She knows, breakfast is in the stanchion with like a little drum at the end, and she just strolls on in and like she owns the place.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's her.
She does, yeah.
She does.
She does.
So. But yeah, no, it works really, really well.
Farm.
And the area where the cows can come in out of the heat under we called it like the calf yard inside the shelter.
Yep.
Like yesterday was a 45-degree day here, and all 3 of them were just hanging out in there laying down, And
that's where we have some like fresh, cool water.
Yep.
Constantly filled up for them. That worked out perfect coming into summer.
Yeah, definitely.
We built a larger chicken coop because our chicken flock is expanding.
Yes, and more so we wanted
without really much effort at all.
We wanted a coop also that the current coop is just a coop. They go in at night, they get let out in the morning.
Yep.
The one we built now is they'll have a coop where they can roost.
Yes.
Where they roost at night, and they also have about a 6 metre by a 2.5 metre area that a run they can come out into, which is fully protected with mesh. So if that day comes that we want to go away for a weekend or whatever,
is it possible to leave the homestead?
Settle down. Rach done it.
I mean, it's year 4 and we haven't been for a holiday yet, so
no,
we'll get there.
It's a holiday.
It's a work in progress.
A dream here. So basically we just wanted a place where the chickens, we don't have to worry about letting them in or out. They can just go into the run. We disappear for the weekend. We know they're safe.
Yep.
So that's in progress still, but it's working. It's going to be great.
So that was the infrastructure projects. That was big. Okay, so we made big progress last year on the infrastructure.
Just 2 of us. Remember?
Yes, just the 2 of us. Gardens and orchards. So we had some great summer and winter crops for 2024.
Yeah.
The garlic was great.
The onions
ended up doing great. We got a whole pile of potatoes.
Yep. They were a bit of a surprise. I didn't think there was going to be that many for a start.
And we had that kind of earlier winter crop where everything kind of went nuts because we had neglected the winter patch. We got heaps of stuff.
Got lots of kohlrabi out of that. Those little yellow cherry tomatoes.
Yep.
I was just snacking on them daily. Like, there was so many of them.
We had a great year for passion fruit.
Oh.
It's still going. It hasn't stopped.
Yep.
Like constant.
Yep.
So we'd done something right there. We didn't follow through with a summer garden like 2024, 2025, because we kind of have found that we want the veggie patch to be a little bit more like efficient and ergonomic to move around, user friendly.
Yeah.
So we've just put a kind of a pause on that, and we've got like renos in the work for that, like through like perhaps through this year. So that it's on the cards for this year.
Yep.
And this year we also turned our attention to our fruit trees.
Yes.
Because we've been busy with other stuff and we've kind of just been letting them grow and do their own thing.
Yep.
This year we did some pruning. Not sure we did it correctly. We made some mulch rings. We put netting around specific trees in the hope of getting
some fruit.
Like getting more fruit in comparison to the zero fruit we got last year.
Bird pressure. Yeah. If you know about fruit trees and bird pressure, you know what we're saying.
So as a spoiler, I will say that there was success in that area. Exactly how much, you'll just have to
watch the fruit video when it comes out.
And see how that actually ended up.
Yes. The pros and cons of our netting solution.
Yes. So, I mean, we definitely want to do more with our fruit trees going into 2025.
Yep.
But we have a serious lack of kind of skills and knowledge in that area.
Yeah.
So we will talk about that when we talk about our goals for 2025.
Yep, we will. The mulch rings.
100%
success. The 300 high mesh rings, which is made out of 25 by 25 mesh.
Yep.
So made into a ring about 1.5 metres round, around the tree, full of the mulch. The chickens don't really kick the mulch out of the ring. They kind of kick it all around the ring, and they're in there with the fruit trees.
Yeah.
So that is.
I personally would say 75% success.
Oh. Come on, 80.
Well, they were kicking some out.
Oh, I know, but that was only your chickens.
Okay.
Oh, the olives, yes.
The olives. So we had some olives come on this year. I think they weren't protected anyway. I think you said the kind of parrots have been in them.
Yeah.
But it was exciting to see because they were planted as like
little itty bitty olives.
In 2020.
That was probably one of our first videos.
Yeah.
It was. So, but I did set up
a watering system,
a temporary surface on the surface dripper system that runs off a 1,000-litre tank.
Yep, gravity
fed. I did notice a couple of weeks ago now, I forget how long ago, whatever, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, that the birds had found the olives and basically.
Have they fully decimated them?
They haven't fully decimated them, no. If you want to make a martini, you might get 3 olives out of it.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
But there's not that many left as compared to what was on there. Because that's why I put the irrigation in, because this was the first year that we had, like, when you look at the tree, it's like, whoa, we've got so many olives on each tree.
I think
they're only small still, right? Like this round, maybe this high. But I thought, we'll water them regularly. And we might be able to get, a good few buckets of olives out of it.
I'm thinking maybe this might be our first year to make our own olive oil. Maybe not.
But then the birds had other ideas.
Plus, all the smaller projects we did in amongst everything.
Yeah.
Now, we do a lot of homestead projects, like many every week.
That don't make it to camera.
No.
All right.
So some of them include...
Well, like I made a nice chest of drawers for the shed, all right, to put all the tools in. That actually made it to camera. That was good.
Oh, the turning map drawers into a tool chest.
Yep, that is going great.
I learnt how to weld.
Amanda learned how to weld, yep. Amanda got me an old chainsaw from the tip that I did up and got going. That was pretty cool.
We made a hay feeder from an IBC.
Yep. A cow lick
holder.
Block holder with like a little hood on it that fixes on the fence.
That worked very well.
A cow drink trough type setup, like one of those blue drums cut in half long ways with a little cover on it and a float valve and stuff. So that's working well. they use that like all the time, so that's great.
Replace the solar bore pump down at our bore.
Upgraded that to a better one.
You installed, like when we did the fencing, you installed like a solar power
electric fence system.
So we did a little video on how to install one of those.
Yep.
What else?
Oh, look.
What did we forget, guys? So all of that is massive. That is massive for 1 year's worth of work, and it's moved us so much more further on our homestead.
Yes, that's right.
And I just want to say that is in addition to Corey had a major surgery in 2024, which put him out of action completely for like several months.
Basically, surgery 26th of February. 4 weeks flat on my back. I had a ankle fusion, a TT ankle fusion, if you know what that is, talus tibia fusion. Currently got 16 screws and 2 plates in there.
Yep.
So 4 weeks flat on my back with my foot elevated.
The goal was to be working like partial days by the 1st of September.
Yep.
But I think you started...
I went back earlier than
like
that.
August maybe?
Yeah, because you were frustrating me.
Yeah, it was so hard just being waited on hand and foot for months on end.
She kept throwing these bells out that I kept ordering off eBay, and it was just like, you know.
But that was, I mean, there was challenges around having to run a homestead with just one person.
Yep.
And we spoke about how it's important to set up your homestead so you're not always running at 100% capacity.
Yep.
So when you have times where you have reduced capacity, things don't fall apart.
Yep.
We also, had the mental struggle around injury and recovery, and Corey spoke to that as well. So, that's something that is a reality, and maybe not enough people talk about it. So we, spoke about that. But now we're on the other side of the surgery. Everything went really well. This is pretty much like revitalized, what Corey can do in our future on the homestead. Is like a new man.
Hey?
So all of that plus like a brand new Corey, essentially. Brand new Corey foot. So happier, healthier Corey, which, is great for all of us.
I'm glad.
So 2025, what is...
the year of 2025.
What is happening in 2025? These are kind of our ideas about what we hopefully will get done. But no pressure. No pressure. All right, so we're still working on the cow shelter.
Yes.
So we have the concrete in, we've got a stanchion in.
Yep.
And so 2025, we want to build a milk room.
Yep.
Which will have like shelves and a sink and a fridge and stuff in there.
Be made all out of cool room panel inside the cow
hopefully
shelter.
like kind of dust-free-ish.
As dust-free as we can make it.
And also make that shelter like fully... I mean, it's already off-grid, but have like a full solar system set up down there, so it's all powered. So
probably have six panels, an inverter, some batteries, like 240 volt power, some lights, water pumps, that sort of thing. Be just totally independent on its own. Its own water tank, probably like a 3,000 or 5,000 litre water tank, plumbed up to the roof and.
Yes, and that water tank will be filled, like gravity filled from another water tank we've got, and we'll show you how we do that.
Yep.
We've got like another water project on the cards for this year, which is putting in a first flush system for our like roof rainwater catchment going into our tank.
Yes.
We need to do that.
Because we still haven't got the gutters on the house hooked up to the big tank yet.
Another infrastructure project is that second lean-to that we spoke about off the shed, and that will be kind of like shelter for equipment, a bit of a wood shed.
Bit of a wood shed down the end type thing.
So that won't necessarily have walls on it, but it'll definitely have a roof.
Yep. I'm thinking roof 9 metres by 3 metres with an end wall, like on the western side. So that stops like the western weather. Most of our weather comes from the west. That'll kind of be like woodshed corner, and then just stuff that doesn't need to go in the shed, but it's nice to have it out of the rain. We'll go in there.
So that's fencing the remainder of
The 10-acre paddock?
Yeah, fencing the remainder of the 10-acre paddock.
Yep.
Yeah, the remaining 6 or so acres.
Yes.
That
so
kind
you'll
of
see in the video, if you watch the fencing video, you'll see we explain why we cut it short and stopped where we did and why we did. And then we'll continue that when it's fencing season.
Yes.
Because we have seasons around here where we do stuff outside, and the peak of summer is not driving
40-degree weeks, ain't it?
not driving through the bush.
No.
Jackhammering rocks out and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
There is talk about maybe constructing some more permanent pig pens. I'm not sure if that's a 2025 or 2026 thing.
Yep.
We will keep you posted about that. What else? We're going to do a bit more work on the house. Just finishing off stuff on the outside of the house. Now we've kind of gone out. We're going to bring it back in and do things like build a deck, build a veranda roof, install some solar panels that will power like an independent air conditioning system. And just all like bits and bobs on the outside of the house, just kind of to make it look visually finished off and all sealed up and stuff. Oh God!
So I guess
that already seems like a lot, but that's not all. Okay, that is not all.
There's more.
There is more.
There will be more.
So probably like a big thing for us was the excitement around being able to actually get fruit from these fruit trees. Fruit trees are like a long-term investment.
Yes.
It was the first thing that we put on this property when we bought it. Is we just had to guess what fruit trees we wanted and where we wanted them. We started planting them. And they take years to really return for you to get a return on that investment. And they're at the age now where we kind of need to maximize their use, maximize their function.
That's right.
On our homestead. But like I said, we're not up there with the knowledge and the skills. So
plant tree, add water, hope for fruit. That's our fruit tree thing.
So we do have a plan to remedy that, and we're hoping to be able to do it in such a way that you guys can kind of learn along with us. And we're hoping to really make for us 2025 the year of the fruit tree for us to fill that gap in our knowledge and make the fruit that we've got planted work for us, hopefully year round. Plant more trees. We've got, some plum trees that aren't producing plums, and apparently they need another type of plum, and we don't know what type of plum. So
they need a man plum.
There's a whole lot of stuff we don't do, and we are getting help. We are getting help to help us do that right, and that help we're hoping will help you too. So
we'll show you what we learn.
Yes, absolutely. What actions we take and what we put into practice, and opportunities for you guys to learn as well. Say. So so that is
that's a big thing this year.
That's massive. We'll leave it there.
We've listed a fair bit.
That's a lot. Yeah,
there's a fair bit going on.
Yeah,
just two of us, remember?
So so I am interested to find out how do you guys think we've done? Do you think, from year 4, it's our fourth, when I say year 4, 2024 is the fourth full year.
Yes.
Kind of, we moved here in 2020 and they
September 2020.
End of 2020. We did do some stuff around the yard fencing and stuff, but the bigger projects really started in 2021 and we've tried to build on that year after year. So, do you think we're where we should be at year 4 in building a homestead from scratch? Have we done good?
But I'm pretty proud of our achievements.
I am also proud of our achievements. I think we've both done fabulously.
I think we have.
And I'm glad I'm doing it with you.
Oh, I couldn't think of anyone else I'd rather do it with.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Well, it depends. If there was 2 of me.
I'm so glad there's not 2 of him.
Imagine the work that would get done. Hey?
No, because there would be only 2 of you. I would be.
You'd be gone.
I'd be gone.
Would you come back for like visits?